What is up, my friends and Stan Stalker fans? Oh boy. How we doing? If you come to like watch the beginning of every stream and you don't hit the like button, you're a weirdo. I'm just saying. But I commend you for your persistence. I gotta give you credit for persistence. So today was a good day. Fucking weirdos. Like, these people legit wait for me to go online just to downvote the video and leave. It's so bizarre. But, you know, it would be funny if, you know, I start freaking doing some legal things. Because after all these years, you know, I just need a couple more things to happen with Orange Man and these like media companies, and then it'd be real interesting. And people still getting caught being psychopaths. It's not gonna be funny. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay on tonight because I only ate lunch and I was gonna do one meal today as a fast, but I'm kind of hungry. I don't want to go to sleep and not have to freaking get up with the munchies like, oh, I'm starving. Okay, let's make sure all the things are working. Yeah, jam roulette. Okay, sound's on. Okay, good. Okay. I should probably warm up like a normal person, but I never do. Because why would I do the sensible thing? And like, warm my fingers up. My hands are actually cold. Gotta do the sit. Let's play rock and roll. Okay, we can do rock and roll. We can find a rock and roll jam. We can do that. Let's see. Jam roulette, rock and roll. Let's find rock and roll. Let's see. Rock backing tracks for guitar. Any particular key? Any particular key you want to hear? We can do that. Let me just let my hands warm up a little bit. Ooh. Do a filthy classic rock guitar jam track in A minor. We can start there. How's that? Oh God, my back is killing me. It should be a Britney Spears song. Filthy classic rock. I don't know why it'd be filthy. But we're not doing 11 minutes of this shit. Same riff over and over again, there's no bridge, there's nothing. Gotta find a new one. I can't do the same riff over and over again. Evolving rocket car. Oh, there's a break. Oh, okay. I was getting worried there wouldn't be another fucking progression there. Sure, run again. That was a good run. Guy asked me to play rock, I play rock, he's in with the fucking like button. You guys are antisocial weirdos. This bullshit. This is put me to sleep. It's the beginning of the fucking stream. God, I don't need to hear from fucking Bandcamp. Go fuck yourself. I don't even have any tracks on Bandcamp anymore. It's so weird. Huh. Okay. Welcome to antisocial fucking gang stalking YouTube. Fucking weirdos. Every stream, same thing, you know? Like, it's gonna be funny though if they could actually like, cause I predicted a lot of things in my life, you know? And, you know, it just seems the direction we're going, that all this weird stuff they've been doing to people, and all they have to do is just look at the server records, you know? And they can start seeing a pattern with the AI, it's gonna be like, ding, 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 in 10 seconds, and a lot of people could be in a lot of trouble. You know, it's a lot of trouble. I don't think they really comprehend what they're doing. Well, this guy who came in and asked for rock and then left. You know, I'm gonna do more rock. Let's see. Raging hard rock. Going. I hate that sound. I hate that fucking sound. I'm not doing it. Fucking Dorian bullshit. I'm not doing that. I can't. It's too early in the stream for me to fucking make believe I want to play shit like that. Angry rock. Shuffle blues. Fucking. Oh god. Cool driving melodic backing track. The fuck is this? Oh god. Monstrous. Okay, monstrous has to be monstrous. None of this stuff entertains me. Next. I just want to play fast and brutal. I'm just going to start playing grindcore soon. If nobody's even around, I can just do the fuck I want, so. Let's see. Latin groove. What the fuck's Latin groove sound like? Latin thing sounds like. Conga. Okay. Oh God. Whip world. Fucking stupid shit. straight up. What's this? A drum loop. 2 weak. I can't play weakness. Give me something fucking brutal for your drum beat. What is this? Fucking weirdos stalking me. cozy blues ballad. This sounds like shit. I'm not doing this. Oh my god, enough of this fucking. We gotta get out of here. This guy wanted fucking rock blues and we're stuck there. I'm not doing it anymore. Let's go back to some kind of metal land. I worked out a little too much today. My back is not happy with me. Well, you know, car accidents and getting old it happens. I'd much rather stand up when I play, but it's too annoying. How many minutes is this? 10 fucking minutes of that fucking 2 riffs? I'm not doing 10 minutes with 2 riffs. What else we got? Let's see. Shred like the 80s hair metal. We did almost everything here, you know, literally. I think we got into like 150 jam tracks and like really hard to find something new. Let's see what the 80s shred sounds like. At least there's some shred. No, we did that one. F sharp. sharp. Oh shit. I hate that because I have to play in G sharp. It's fucking annoying. What got into me? The fact that I've had hundreds of people fucking stalking me in gangs across the internet. I've been fucked with by everyone and their mother, and then that particular guy has like 5 fucking fake accounts following me around like a fucking weirdo. He literally like makes clips of like every one of my streams and tries to like find things that I'm saying that makes me look crazy. It's that guy, I'm pretty sure the same guy. I kicked the shit out of him in Counter-Strike like 10 fucking years ago, and he's still stalking me. And then I got like hundreds of other fucking weirdo libtards that fucking hate me because of something I posted in fucking Facebook in 2014. Okay? I've been getting attacked by rejects for years, and then on top of it, there's fucking actual fucking devs in fucking YouTube and Facebook and all those other fucking places that fuck with me. So when they come in and they want to talk their shit and try to like play a little fucking game, I like to like, you know, like hurt their soul a little bit to like, you know, like a dad with the fakota. And, you know, and then the real thing is when other people, normal people, hear the conversation, they see what the fuck I'm saying, you're like, oh, this fucking guy is a fucking psycho stalker. That's why. Because you have to, okay? Because sometimes you have to. Because if you don't talk about these things, like when people were saying I was crazy about cancel culture, you know, I tried to explain to people, and they didn't want to believe what was happening to me. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're fucking crazy. Listen, conspiracy facts, you call me whatever the fuck you want. You can't call me stupid. And if you don't say anything, that's how they get you. That's how they isolate you and fucking kill you. Because the whole cancel culture thing is basically just rehearsal for mass genocide. They want to like ruin your business, isolate you from society, and basically get you to fucking die from lack of resources or fucking you go crazy and kill yourself. That's something I'll never do. I was trained to be a fucking solo, like, you know, like monastery type of guy. I like being alone. It's actually peaceful. I don't have to deal with anybody's bullshit. But the story has to get told, and like I said, I use whoever comes in for content. You know, it's the way of the Tao. Okay? So if someone comes in and they're nice, if I have a fucking reject stalker, like I have guys who literally stalk my shit for years, and if I start a video, they will literally come just to downvote it and leave. Okay? That's how much my existence pisses off weirdos. You know what I mean? So you can't not talk about it. You got to put them in their fucking place. And sometimes it helps them. Like I can't tell you how many trolls I fucking fixed their brain because I gave them a good fucking verbal lashing and something clicks. They go, oh, I'm fucking up. I have to fix my life. You know? And I do the Lord's work. But to stay silent when you have somebody trying to like ruin your reputation, fucking group chats, all this weird fucking stalking shit, putting your shit on the fucking dark web, making fake accounts of you, fucking all kinds of crazy shit. You have no idea the level of crazy shit I've dealt with. So, you gotta tell the story, you gotta put people in their fucking place, you gotta also teach people not to take fucking shit from people. What kind of role model would I be if I fucking let some fucking psychotic bully just fucking have his way? No, you gotta be like, fuck you, you're a bitch. And it's good content. People like drama. That's another thing they don't understand. Think like, oh, I gotta get mad. I'm like, people like that shit. You know, like, that gets more views than being nice. Like, you know, me calling somebody a fucking cunt. I was a gamer. I can't tell you how many thousands and thousands of dollars I got in donations for fucking calling cunts. Like when people came in, they tried to fucking be like, you know, short shit, and I would just destroy them. Okay, I'm the Sultan of Soul, the king of the captain, the inventor, try. I trust you, comes into life in the battles of Brooklyn. I made money talking shit to people, so I can tell you that like it's good content. So it serves many, many purposes. You know, there's no negative. No, it's not supposed to stop them. Like, you know, a couple of times, like, no, you get through to some of them, you know? But as Jesus would say, for the reader to understand. It's not for them. Like, they think I'm giving them attention, but they don't realize that I'm using them. Like, they think they're playing some psychological game, and they don't see the game that I'm playing because they're too stupid. Like, they're really too stupid. Like, you don't even get it. Like, when the girl came in, I'm like, it doesn't matter if she's a real girl or not. It doesn't hurt me to play along. I'm screaming. You know what I mean? They can't see the strategy. They think that they're winning something. And I get to fucking be a guy from Brooklyn again and, you know, tell somebody he's a fucking cunt. Because he is a cunt. I mean, they're literally stalking me for years. I mean, I can get arrested if I wanted to. I can get these people put in jail. I mean, like, a lot of people can go to jail because of what they did. And what they've been doing. And there's evidence all over the place. You know what I mean? But I'd rather just call him a bitch. It's more fun. When someone stalks you that much, they're really a fan. You know? So if I give them a little papao, it's okay. It makes them happy. Oh, just there we go. But yeah, but like the reason why. Look, I've been in this game for 7 years. I've been on the internet since the 90s. Okay, I've been in the online dealing with retard space and preaching the fucking gospel of like not retarded for 20 something years. Okay, being a social advocate and trying to help people. Okay, I've dealt with all kinds of crazy shit. I've watched society crumble because people like you don't understand when you need to tell a bitch to he's a bitch and fuck off. Okay? Like, bullies and weirdos only understand humiliation and violence. And, you try to, deal with them by, exposing, how stupid they are, making other people ostracize them. That works. Okay? That's like, oh my God. But the reason why society is so fucked up is because we took away pride and shame. Like, oh, you can't bully people. You can't fat shame people. Like, when I grew up, you used to shame everybody for everything, okay? And that's why people kept themselves in check. And if you're afraid to call a fucking asshole an asshole and say, this guy needs to get fucked because he's a fucking jerk off, that's why society's broken. Because it was like, I don't want to have, no, sometimes you have to have conflict. Sometimes you have to tell them, because you're being a piece of shit. You need to stop. Okay? Call them out in front of everybody. Because if you don't do that, your life's going to suck. And thank you. I got blow my nose. I don't think anybody's still here. Pop in for a conversation and just disappear. I don't know if YouTube's kicking people or they're just fucking weird. It's irrelevant. I get to stop and blow my fucking schnoz. I get people who watch the replay, why should I not stand up to psychologically abusive stalkers? People who make their entire life is spent on destroying people's lives that they and weird things, I have communities of people attack me and try to kick me out of society because you were anti-vax, you're a Trump supporter. I don't even fucking vote. You're a white supremacist. I'm not white. You hate trans people. I used to fucking run the fetish parties in New York. I did security for the Pride Parade. You're a trans. Everything they fucking say, it's it's ridiculous. There's all these weird reasons why all these people attack me. And the real fucking reason is I'm a guy who has pretty privilege, so I'm not fucking ugly. And when a girl's cute, she gets fucking extra stuff. When a guy's not fucking busted and has any kind of talent, the world tries to fucking destroy them. That's what it comes down to. That's a lie. If you work hard and go up the ladder, no. And this was maybe I'm autistic because I was taught follow the rules, work hard, and you'll get no. Because the neurotypical people don't fucking follow the rules. They tell you to do one thing and they're all fucking lying and cheating. It's normal. Normal people are fucking broken. You know, and like if you're like a normal guy who isn't like ugly, like your average height, average weight, you fucking have some kind of talent, you're gonna have fucking people trying to destroy your life just for existing. If you're not some fucking weirdo, like, you know, that people can feel safe around, like you're not a competition, they're gonna try to destroy you. There's no, what's neurotypical? So this is a whole thing with the new weirdos with the transgender era. You know, when transsexuals and transgender people got split, were in society, was the moment where you had like the like, you know, lady boy, like, you know, like normal fucking transsexual girls that look like girls, and then all of a sudden these transgender people who were just like fucking bizarro land, that switched, that was the dividing line in society. And then all of a sudden they started talking about autism and all these other things that weren't being retarded are now retarded, okay? So you have neurotypical, what it really means is that you are a good slave in the system, in the fucking factory farm school where you prove that you can sit there like an 8-hour work slave and work in an office or work in a factory and follow orders and be a little bitch. And anybody who can't, whose brain patterning rejects sitting in a chair for 8 hours, getting up and standing down like a fucking robot slave and like working in this fucking slave system, they're neurotypical. And neurodivergent is anyone who doesn't fit that category. So ADHD and all this other weird stuff. Like, people with ADHD, it's not a fucking problem. Well, the problem is that you're not meant to be sitting in a fucking chair as a kid for 8 hours a day, listening to some cunt you don't care about, teaching you shit you don't care about. You're supposed to be in a fucking field playing with butterflies. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I gotta slow down for you. But yeah, so this is it's a weird Western world psychological thing. They have like, you know, this, you know, neurotypical and like, you know, neurodivergent, meaning like your brain works differently than the normal person. So you have like normal people and then different people. And what it really means is that when you go through school and you go through life, your brain it rejects modern society. That's what it means. So all the people who can get through school and they're like, oh yeah, everything's normal, and they don't feel like they're suffering in this prison school system and then going to work in this prison work system, you know, and like just living in this fucking slave system, those are neurotypical. And we're like, oh, nothing's wrong. I'm going to watch sports ball. Oh, dope. Oh, my sports ball team is better than your sports ball team. My political team better than your political team. Oh, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. That's what it means. It means beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop, doot, 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 doot. So the people who survive in society and think that society's normal and this is natural and that we're supposed to live like this, those are typical. What it really means is that you accept slavery and you don't reject it and you're happy to be part of the fucking program. You know, like you naturally adapt to it. And that's why in the last 10 years now, it's like, if you have an IQ as high as mine, you're automatically autistic. It used to be called gifted. Like, oh, you're smarter than everybody else. You're stronger than everybody else. You're gifted. You should be a leader. Now it's like, oh, you're weird. You're too smart. You're too smart for people. You're a weirdo. Stay away. You don't belong in society. You have pattern recognition and don't like to take shit from people? You don't want to fucking suck the devil's dick and follow the government. You just want to live on your island and eat bananas and be left the fuck alone? Oh, you're a weirdo. You don't want to argue about stupid shit with idiots? You're weird. That's what it means. I hope that lesson fixed it for you, because that's what it really is. But if there's one thing I hope that my rant is to teach people, stand up to bullies. If I didn't stand up to bullies, they would have like completely, like, you know, especially during the whole lockdown thing, all these weirdos came after me and you know, if I don't stand up for myself, who's to stand up for me? You know? And if you don't stand up for yourself, who's to stand up for you? It's like, Why are you letting mean people who can't think, who have an IQ of fucking 80, run the world and talk shit to you? Like, no. I'm not doing that. I'm starting in the middle, it's weird. Find something new. What's this? Oh, it's so soft and happy. We'll do this one. You can take an IQ test online. I took a whole bunch of IQ tests as a kid because I got skipped like, I think it was like 5 grades, and then my life was all fucking crazy. In the 4th grade, I skipped 5 grades and wound up in high school, and then I moved to another state. So they transferred me to this high school, and then so I was 5 grades ahead, then 3 grades ahead, and I came back, and I was normal, and I was fucking ahead, and they kept bouncing me all over the fucking place. But then you can take IQ tests online. So I usually, not now, because my brain's all fucked up and getting hit in the head. I probably score over 140, but I usually get between 168 and 176, 172 or something like that. But you can take IQ tests all over the place. The last one I remember that I took like 10 years ago was like, it said 168, 172 was the last one. The highest I ever got was 176. I can remember. I'm trying to remember when the fuck I took it. Because I used to take, the online ones to show my friends. They're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, let's take the test. I do it drunk. So it was like, autism. Hey, what's up, Hayes? Yeah, he always comes back. What's up, buddy? So decline in cognitive health can also fuck with good. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I haven't taken a test in 10, 15 years, but, like, I got hit in the head a lot, and then being in isolation, I don't know. Because, like, I only speak to people on the stream when I teach. Other than that, I meditate and do Kung Fu. And the only time I actually do anything that's like a party is I come on the stream. If I'm not streaming, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna do anything. I just fucking do Kung Fu, I fucking research stuff, I teach my class, I walk my cat. So I don't know, but like, I definitely feel slower now that I'm getting older. And, I was poisoned fucking 3 times and went through a lot of shit. Stress fucks with your memory. It gives you like memory blocks and like fucks with your thinking. So it's like, I can definitely feel like I can't do math like I used to do. Like, I used to be able to do, like, math in my head really fast. And, like, I've had, like, now that I can really think about it. I used to be able to read, like, I think, like, 1,500 words a minute. Now it's like I have to, like, all right, I got to, like, pay attention. What classes do I do? I teach classes. I teach, like, martial arts classes. But, like, when normal people will, like, watch TV, like, I watch the news and documentaries and fucking, like, read weird articles and fucking, like, try to study stuff that's obscure. Like, what I normally do is like a total immersion thing. So it's like if I'm interested in a topic, I'll do nothing but that topic, or like I'll have 3 topics at the same time, and like I'll just like do those things for a couple of hours a day. Like I can't watch like movies, and I don't care about what normal people care about. People are like, how do you don't know everything? I'm like, I don't know everything. It's just that while you're fucking watching fucking Netflix, I'm like I'm just like feeding myself things that matter. And you guys are sitting there watching fucking Teletubbies. I don't think IQ tests are like a really great indicator of like your real IQ, like how smart you really are. Once it hits around like 130, it doesn't. It's I think you have to be able to get at least a 110. And if you're struggling to get 110 on an IQ test, you really need to go train your brain. The average IQ right now is 89, and like when I was growing up, that was bad. Like you were in the slow class. Now it's normal. There's fucking people who think they're really smart, like getting college degrees, who have an IQ under 100. That's really fucking scary. You know what I mean? Like they made the standards. My Qigong master, when I was training Buddhism, one of his things he taught me, he's like, the people that run the world, and it's in Chinese, he goes, they want to make people stupid and make life short like dog, only 12 years. You live very short, be very stupid like dog. And he used to say that to me. The Dharma ending age. They will make people stupid, live short life like dog, very stupid. And I'm like, I couldn't believe what I'm fucking seeing. I'm glad Hayes agrees with me. But I just don't think that it's really that important, as long as like you're not an idiot. Like, you should be able to tell like, oh, here's a sequence of numbers. Can you figure out what the next number is? Oh, look at these shapes in the box. Oh, what if you do this and this? Can you understand this pattern? They are. And I was very lucky, my spirit guides put me on the right path. Like everywhere I went, I find the master. Or like, and I never paid for a lesson in my life. I never took, like, I literally walked this crazy ninja path, and the Tao put my masters in my life. I've had lots of teachers and lots of crazy, experience. I was very lucky to find these obscure masters from like China and Taiwan, Japan, and like all these weird guys that just came in my life at the right time, So I was just very lucky like that. This song was making me depressed. Well, so I did, like ninjutsu before. I did like a couple years of that shit. I did Akijujutsu before I actually got into my real karate style. But real ninjas were Chinese. They weren't Japanese. That's a whole other thing. So learning the internal martial arts of China and then knowing the real history, the real ninjas were Chinese. And the Japanese government, what happened was when Japan occupied China and Korea and all stuff, they literally changed the word karate. Kara used to mean the mainland of China. And Tangsiro in Korea was Japanese karate that was altered a little bit, which meant Tang Dynasty or Tang Dynasty of China. So they changed the word to not give China credit for the Okinawan and Japanese martial arts that they stole. Or were given to them, but they, And then ninjutsu was, you had Chinese assassins who were killing samurai and they couldn't take that. So they made up this whole thing about, the ninjas or the samurai who became stealthy. None of that shit is true. There's actually a Chinese word, nejia, nejia, like how do you pronounce it, but if you look at Neijia, is the internal martial arts, like Bagua, Jingyi, Taiji, things like that. So you had these crazy Chinese assassins who were going around fucking up the Japanese, and the Chinese culture is the one that's deceptive. The Japanese were very honorable. They wouldn't do that. It would be considered dishonorable to do the kind of subterfuge. It wasn't until the Chinese were fucking going up on boats and fucking them up that they became... So ninjas were actually, yeah. But, I say ninja because, people understand it. You know what I mean? But for all intents and purposes, I was trained to be a ninja. I worked as a ninja. I've done ninja work. I was an actual ninja. Every time I tune from the bottom, I break the string, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to pop this really fast and fix it. What's up, Tony? Tony knows that I was an actual ninja. He saw me in real life. Tony will tell you. How you been, Tony? Tony is actually a very good Filipino martial arts instructor. And, he used to work with me with sticks, Like I did Doce Paris, and he does the other one. So I did like a little bit of sticks before I met him, and then he helped me with my sticks some more. So Tony's actually really good with the Filipino stuff. Tony's a cool cat. The keyboard is when I do the orchestral stuff. So it's really just for me to write songs. Like I don't play, I haven't. So it was in college. The reason I broke this hand, so I couldn't finish my piano training. So I know how to play piano, but I don't play piano. I can play by ear when I have to. So when I'm doing orchestral music, I need the piano. You know what I mean? What I want to do is get a MIDI pickup for the guitar because it'll be so much easier for me to write the parts on a MIDI guitar. Meaning they have a way to plug your guitar into the computer and make the orchestra work. But until then, you know. My camera's lagging? I think it's a stream. Just restart the stream. And maybe also put it down a quality level because I have it at 1080p and an ultra fucking low latency, so it may be messing with you. So. Thank you. The tism is strong in me. God bless me with the tism. The tism is strong with this one. No, but like it's not just tism. I actually really practiced my ass off as a kid. You know, like when I went, like I was training like a ninja. You know, and I'm like, because my karate is the one who actually like pushed me to do it. And like when I went into school, I'm like, I'm gonna play guitar. Like I was like, you're gonna have to kill me to stop me. I was drilling my ass off as a kid. So I did have some talent, but like I just fucking killed myself from like 17 years old to whatever the fuck it was. Player solo using only the 6th, 5th, and 4th string. Okay. What key am I in? Okay. Oh yeah, I have a whole bunch of guitars in the background. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 7 strings, an acoustic, another 6 string that I played in college. The only time I ever played, I played it in college, and I keep it around. But how do you go live? Wait, how do I go? Hold on, let me answer Hayes first. How do I go live? Well, I use something called OBS. So that's this box over here, and then I go into the YouTube studio thingy, and then I make it work like that. But yeah, I have a lot of guitars. What am I playing? Oh yeah. 4, 5, 6 strings, right? Oops. Here's your 4, 5, 6 strings. That's just always the most fun stuff to play. It's like, you know, it makes you want to like shake your ass and go, ba 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 ba. Like when I play grindcore and like death metal, I just want to like dance like this. This is what we used to do in the studio. This is what we do. We go like this. That's how we used to play. Every time we played, like, we played grindcore and we'd have everybody in the fucking pit going. You know? Like, seriously, can you imagine, like, 20 guys drunk with their ass and playing shit like this in my band, and they go like this? It's like dancing like the fucking 60s or 50s. What they used to do? Is it the 50s? They used to do that dance? It's just all these fucking weirdos in Brooklyn just like in the studio. Because like I used to play in the studio called Fastlane Studios. And we played there if we weren't playing a show, we were in the studio Friday and Saturday night from like 10 to 3. We used to book 5 hours in the studio every weekend for like 13 years. And it was Brooklyn. So we'd have all these people come to watch us play like free shows in the studio. There was the doors open, people come in, drink and smoke and whatever. So we would have like, you know, every weekend between like 10 and like 60 people in the studio, just like, like grinding out. You know, so that was the good old days when, you know, the metal scene was still metal and Brooklyn was still cool. You know, these like fucking poser wimps like learned how to scream online. Like everyone's like these fucking hipsters, like you fucking, oh god, like get the fuck away from me. What's next? Really? You go from fucking grindcore to this? YouTube is broken. Okay, I guess we're doing this. What the fuck is, I don't know what the fuck key says. Key blah. Another shot, playing this fucking weirdo music. Oh god. Well, if wasn't you guys hanging out with me, I'd be sitting sore in pain, using a foam roller, crying, and then going to sleep. You know, like here I get to play some music, talk shit, drink some whiskey, and then go to sleep happy. So it's a good excuse. Cause like I'm fucking mytism. Like I won't drink when I'm alone. You know. And like I get bored when I practice, so this like forces me to practice and it forces me to drink. Well, you know, it doesn't force me, but it gives me an excuse because I don't go out. I will not go to a bar and drink. You know, if I'm by myself, I'm not gonna drink. So it's like, you know, I get to freaking have some whiskey, talk shit, play some fucking tunes. It's cool. You know, it's why it's kind of like a thing. It's become like a little excursion from stupid people. I gotta do something with the air filter in here because like I have like stupid allergies. Like in one hand I'm like half invincible, and the other hand like stupid shit like knocks me on my ass. Like dust and mold, and like kittens. 3 things that like will take me out. Like all my fucking friends in Brooklyn used to make fun of me because like, you look this invincible ninja. Like people used to like punch me in the chest and like kick me like I was training Iron Body and shit. And then I'll be next to a kitten and I'm done for a month. I'm like fucked. You're such a tough guy. You can't handle a kitten. It's like fucking no. I like cats. I just like, I'm like allergic to a lot of them. Like the long-haired cats don't bother me as much. Like kittens, I can't be anywhere near them. Like at all. I almost died once because my mom had a bunch of kittens. And I had this apartment by the studio. And it was a studio apartment. And she like left me this box of kittens. And she was going to Florida. I was supposed to take care of them. And within an hour and a half, my nose and my fucking lungs were flooded. I could not get out of bed. I couldn't move. So I had my cry students come, take the cats, and my cry students had to scrub the entire house. And I was sick for like 3 weeks. Like there's something, a toxoplasmosis. Like there's a bacteria in cat piss and shit. But the kitten saliva on their hair, I can't be anywhere near it. Like now, I think I've been around cats enough, but kittens was like with death for me. It was bad. It was fucking bad. And the fact that I have this like 30-pound fucking cat is a miracle. And he usually doesn't bother me, but yeah, I mean, cats are assholes. I got really lucky with Appa. Like he's not a cat. He's my witch familiar who came to me out of the cat distribution system. But he's more like a dog. He listens to commands. He comes when I call him. Like I talk to him like I talk to a dog. They understand. Cats understand almost as many words as dogs do. They just don't care. My drum used to say this. The dog says, "He feeds me, he pets me, he loves me. He must be a god." And the cat says, "He feeds me, he pets me, he loves me. I must be a god." And that's really what the difference between cats and dogs. Cats are like, Egyptian deities who think their shit doesn't stink. And we're there only to serve them. No, but cats are cool when you understand them. But if you try to relate to a cat like you do to a dog, you're going to have problems. And most people, they don't recognize the soul of an animal. Like, you don't actually look an animal in the eyes and, like, pay attention to it. So you don't recognize the characteristics of the species and, like, their culture. Because each, like, animal species has a culture. And people, we're trained to disassociate and just, like, factory farming, all this shit. But you don't actually recognize the spirit in the animals and, like, pay attention to them and, like, how they operate. Because if you thought of every animal as a human from a different country and they have like a culture and like you'll start to understand them. It's very strange. Squirrels speak sign language. If you want to like feed a squirrel, look at the squirrel, the food in your hand, go like this. Like show your neck and go like this. And the squirrel will stand up and go like this to you and be like, "You speak squirrel?" It's fucking crazy. Like you'll see it. But people, they don't pay attention to details. But cats, they have their own culture. Like, like they're kind of like, because a lot of the communication isn't verbal. It's like how you look, like how you move your eyes, and like, like how you blink, like what position you're facing in. It's weird. Just like Cash, because every time I fucking sit down, I fucking scratch my legs. Yeah, cats are assholes. Like, they can be fucking assholes. Oh shit! Tony was in the bottom stream. I didn't see. I'm sorry. God damn it, Tony! You're in the wrong stream. Fuck. Like I don't look at the bottom stream. I only look at the bottom stream once in a while because my guitar headstock. So I'm running 2 streams. One has the full screen and one has the vertical, right? But I have the vertical on top as the main, so if my guitar is here, I won't see the bottom stream. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. So I won't see it, So if that's why in the description it says come to the vertical stream to chat, because I won't look. It's I can't follow 2 chats. I don't feel like putting the program together to fucking. Cause I can put the fucking chat on the screen, all that bullshit, but I don't really care that much. What is this, E minor? Ronaldo Zoe? What's that? What's a Cristiano Ronaldo Zoe? I don't know what the fuck that means. Who is that? Is it a porn star? Is that like one of those lady boy? I'm okay with the lady boys. I'm not okay with the it's ma'am. Cause I've been accused of being a transphobe and a fucking weird anti-Semite fucking white supremacist. I have no problem with the transsexual girls. I have a problem with the it's ma'am. You better respect my beard and a dress in the bathroom. That's why I draw the fucking line. I can't take it. That's it. You know, that's why my line is drawn. That's where the line is drawn, okay? Oh, I gotta say, really quick, let me say goodnight. have a really cute fan who always texts me and tells me, you're so fucking high, I love you so much, you have a good night, you're playing so nice. I'm like, oh, thank you. Give me 1 second. Like, you gotta give the good ones some attention once in a while, Where'd everybody go? No one's in the chat. Say something. People are weird. I got stalkers. The fucking YouTube fucks with the view counts. Like, everything's fucked. Like, it's crazy. My view counts just go on normal videos, not just live streams. On TikTok and YouTube, I'll open the video and I'll watch the views and the likes spin backwards as soon as I open the video. It's the craziest thing. So, here's what it is. Like right now, it's saying that you're not here, but you're talking to me. So, but I appreciate you. What kind of solo should I do now? What style of music should we do? Do you play guitar? If you play guitar, pick a key. Because I'll find something. It's easier for me when someone throws something out. Because that's the whole point of Jam Roulette. Jam Roulette is I find something that is a different key, different whatever the fuck style, and I just play it. That's the whole point of the exercise. Oh, okay. No worries. Boring. You don't have to play the guitar, it's fine. Just like, it's fun sometimes when people play the guitar tell me what to play. So they'll tell me, oh, play this key, play that thing, Okay, it's fine. Okay, here we go. It's kind of cheesy. I used to play games professionally. I was a pro gamer. I have a channel that still has me playing games, and you can see my highlight reels. I have world records in games. I was really good at first, like shooter games. I was like the best in the world, kind of level. I was really good. But there's so much hacking and cheating and weirdos and fucking like not good gayness. Like I can't. There's nothing to play. So there's no real good games, but like Counter-Strike, I'm disgusting. Like you have to be cheating to be on my level. I am God in Counter-Strike. Even now, I haven't played in years. I can go play Counter-Strike right now and just destroy a server. They'll think I'm cheating. That's how good I was at Counter-Strike. I stopped playing games. It was just, I came up with an anti-cheat system, and then all these fucking companies and everybody started coming after me, and then YouTube came after me because they fucking covered Antifa Pro. It's all this weird stuff. But I used to play in leagues, and I used to coach teams. I was like really good. I was like really good. Like, I would venture to say that I was better at Counter-Strike than I am at guitar. I was really fucking good. I played all famous teams and beat them and shit. And I was scary. I have a world record in this sniping game, in this game Heroes and Generals. I still have the world record for the longest shot. I have crazy, my highlight reel is crazy. Oh, no. I was playing guitar first. What happened was I got hurt and I started playing Counter-Strike because I couldn't train. So I was like, oh, Counter-Strike. Oh, I couldn't, I got really sick and I got hurt and I got in a car accident. So 3 times, and I had nothing else to do. So I used to go to this was before there was DSL and fucking cable. I used to go to LAN centers and play Counter-Strike, and I used to play for money at the LAN center. I would play people for money in Brooklyn, and then I wound up playing for these Cal invite teams, and I would I came up with my own couple of teams, and I started coaching teams, and then I did that for a long time, years, and then I quit, and then on 2000, I don't know, 14, 16, something like that, there was this game called Ghost in the Shell, and I just started playing it for fun, and these people were like, "You're cheating. There's no way you're that good." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm not cheating. I have a Twitch account I never use. I'll go stream it right now. You can see me play." And as soon as I went on, I had 150 fucking viewers. It was like, holy shit. So then I started doing lessons, and then I started the team for the game. Then the team shut down, so I started playing Counter again. And then I had a decent following, and then I started playing Battlefield and all the other fucking games. There's a game, Heroes and Generals. I was the biggest streamer in that game for a long time. But it's all controlled. The whole gaming scene is really highly controlled, fucking Illuminati bukkake shit. It's fucked up. But I went to school for music way before that. I went to school for music in '97. I started playing guitar in '95, but I didn't get serious till the end of '96 when my friend died in a car accident. He was actually getting chased by the cops. I was in a little shitty band with him. And the drummer was like, "Hey, I'm going to music school. Why don't you come with me?" I'm like, "Dude, I can't barely read tablature. I can't go fucking compete with these Asian kids who all their families have money and they're taking lessons the whole life." "Well, you have 8 months. Why don't you figure it out?" So I went to my karate teacher and I asked him, "What do you think?" And he goes, "If you can survive training with me, you can do anything. This is nothing." I said, "Oh, you're right. If I can fight, I'm just going to play music. How hard can this be?" So I went, and there was no internet. I went and bought 3 books. I sat in the basement for 8 to 10 hours a day. Thinking karate, I made it a form. And I was like, okay, this is white belt. And I looked at the books. I'm like, this is going to be white belt, this is going to be yellow belt, this is going to be green belt. And I did the books. I segmented the books like it was karate. And I played until, I'm talking about blood on my hands. I didn't give a fuck. You have to kill me to stop me. I had this crazy, samurai mentality. I didn't do karate at a school. I trained with goons, military psychos, and I was reading about Musashi and all this shit. I'm like, I'm gonna be a ninja. So when I started guitar, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then I wound up getting to music school 8 months it took me. I got a scholarship, and I went for 2 years, and then I broke my hand. So. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was trying to live a superhero life. I wanted to be a superhero. And I trained myself to be a superhero. I lived a superhero life. I used to go save people from burn. I did crazy shit. I was a superhero. When I was a kid, I was a ninja. I was literally an undercover fucking agent, doing fucking vigilante superhero shit. I'm not saying that to talk shit. I literally you wouldn't believe it. You know, I was a superhero. Like, I've literally jumped in front of burning buildings. I did crazy things, you know? The tism. It's a tism. This one time, I go to meet my fucking girlfriend in the Kings Plaza Mall, and I don't know why this came up, but this Kings Plaza Mall on Flatbush Avenue and Avenue U, and I'm on the Avenue U side. I get off the bus. I'm close to my girlfriend, like Sabaros, which is right there. And this old lady, she had to be like 80, 90 years old. She got hit by the bus and run over. And there's a crowd of people standing there. So I run over and no one's doing anything. There's like, So I go over to the old lady. I stop the bus. I pull the old lady out. She has like fucking compound fractures, fucking blood everywhere. I fucking rip my shirt. I fucking give her like a tourniquet. And I'm like 15 or 16 at the time, right? And I'm sitting there for like an hour with this old lady. Like maybe like 30 minutes because it took a while for like the ambulance and the cops to show up. But I'm sitting there, the only person, there's like 30 to 50 adults, and I'm like the only one like rendering aid to this fucking old lady. Like, you know, like I literally reset her bone, fucking give her a tourniquet, stop the bleeding, I controlled the crowd, the whole fucking thing. And I finally go to Sabaros, and he goes like, "Where were you? You're late." I'm like, "I just saved an old lady." He's like, "You're lying." I'm like, "No, I'm not lying. Like, come with me." And I took her, and she goes, "Oh." She was so pissed. She was pissed I was late, but then she was pissed that, like, you know, they said you didn't believe me. But I was just that guy my whole life. I was just that person. Like, you know, when the shit went down, I was the one that jumped into it. I don't even know, man. I'm just ranting. Do we want to do dreamy melodic rock ballad in D major? I've heard about it, but I can't remember a song. If you tell me a song, I'll probably know it. sometimes it's hard for me to follow when it's really low like that. Especially if I'm playing like major keys, I'm not used to playing those chords. miss anything? Okay. It's 11. I gotta go sleep pretty soon, so I'm gonna have one more shot. I have a problem sleeping. I only sleep 3 to 5 hours. So I'm hoping I'll sleep the whole 8 hours tonight. Let's find something more interesting. This riff is just not fun. Like, what's this? Dark Metal Phrygian. I'm good. I'm good on that riff. What's this? That's scary enough. Is anybody still here? Or am I just talking to myself? sharp, whatever. I blow my nose. I don't think anybody's here, so I can fuck around. It's alright. It's the end of the night. No one's really around, so I can fucking be a jerk off. Oh, God. Not this one. This one's hard. This is fucked up. can't believe I got through that. Is anybody even still here? I don't think anybody's even here. This is okay. That can be a mess. I'm not. What's this? That wasn't crazy. Yeah, this sounds crazy. No, you gotta have more chords than that. How is it one fucking part of what is this shit? Burning Desire Ballad. God. It's fucking gay shit. I think I'm done. I am that drunk. Let's try it again. I'll nail it this time, and I know who I am. I don't want to do that. Oh God, come on. Give me something fucking cool for once. Oh God. Black metal. Okay, we do that. That makes me happy. Yeah, black metal will be fun. Let's do some black metal. I think I'm done. Jam Roulette's giving me garbage, and it's just repeating stuff. I don't understand this algorithm. It just fucks me on everything. It blocks me out of viewers. It fucking blocks me out of jam tracks. It's like we've already played this today. It doesn't make sense. But I appreciate everybody who stopped by today. You guys are cool. Give me a reason to hang out and drink and go to sleep and sleep through the night. So I appreciate everybody. It's been fun. Unless anybody has anything to say, because I don't know who's here, because I can't really see the view count. But if anybody's here, I'll hang out. But if not, I'm just going to go to sleep. I'm going to eat a taco and go to sleep. But it's been fun. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me on my getting back in shape tour, So I'm getting there, getting some muscles back, It'll take some time. But by springtime, I'll be fucking jacked again. My shredding skills will be up, and I'll be fucking diesel. That's the plan. So everybody who's been with me on the journey back to being a shredding machine, I appreciate you. 150 people, only 4 fucking likes. You guys suck. But But I appreciate everybody that stopped by. So, all right, I think I'm done. Have a good night. Peace out. I'll give somebody 30 seconds if anybody has anything to say, because I can't really tell who's here, because the view counter doesn't tell me who's here. So, going once, going twice, going to eat some tacos. I love you guys. Be safe.